welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will be basically sharing with you guys my influencer journey. I felt the need to share this with you guys because it's a lot more into influencing than people think. And honestly, my journey and my story is still being written as we speak. But so far I still wanted to share with you what that journey looked like for me. Everybody's journey and story with influencing is different, so I don't want you to feel like you have to go through the same things I went through, but at the same time I do want to give hope. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into the details of this video. I started in 2016 but officially started in 2017 and started taking it very seriously. At first I started out with just doing nothing but makeup. Like, that was my thing, that was what I was good at, because I got into makeup, I want to say, when I know I was in college when I got to Alabama State. That's when I really started getting into makeup, because so many of the girls on campus, I mean, faces was beat, eyebrows. Back then in 2012, that's when eyebrows was like a thing, like a thing. And I started getting into makeup and I started wearing it. There were times where I was looking a hot mess, okay? I'll probably insert some pictures, but I was looking a plumb fool and I had to just experience it. And I started having fun. I started doing it on myself a lot every time me and my friends would go out. And then when me and my friends would go out, guess who was the makeup artist? Me. And we just did it for fun. I did it because we was finna be cute, and I just wanted everybody that was in my crew to be cute too. And no girl gets left behind, okay? I'm the type of friend where one look cute, all of us gonna be cute. That's just how we roll. So I was doing it with them. I was wearing my face on campus whenever I felt like getting cute. I just do my makeup, and so many people ask me, girl, you did your makeup, can you do mine, can you? And I'm just like, I don't do makeup. Like, do you have foundation? I had to go and buy the LA Girl, that's the OG, the LA Girl Pro Concealer that was like $1.99, or at the time it was probably cheaper than that. I bought a ton of those in different shades, so they wouldn't have to bring a whole bunch of stuff that they had. And I used what I used on myself on some of the girls on campus. I wasn't the biggest makeup artist on campus because at that time there were 2 makeup artists on campus, Portia and Levator, and I loved them so much because they were dope artists, but I was really focused on school. And then that's when I always tell people YouTube found me. One day I was looking on YouTube because at that time I really wanted to go to the Air Force just to pay for school, and to have extra money in my pocket to take that weight off of my family. And I got on YouTube and I was like, you know, female Air Force people, like stuff like that. And Missy Lynn popped up. I'm sure some of you may know who that is. Missy Lynn popped up, and I started watching her because, one, she was a girly girl like me. And if you know me personally, you know that you wouldn't even dare put Talisha and military in the same sentence. But I had to grow up and I had to make do and figure out, okay, I don't want to leave school with a bunch of debt, so I want to go to the Air Force, and I was going to do reserve. I was not going to do active duty. And so I continued to watch her, and I was caught up in her story, and I was very interested, and I still pursued the Air Force, but I was more caught up in the makeup. And I was like, I was like, okay. And I started watching her. I started watching some of the OGs, Time the Infamous. I was watching Pretty Girl Angie. I was watching Pretty Girl Angie faithfully, Nitra B, all of these OG Makeup Shayla. I was following her before she had like blew up on YouTube, and oh, so many other people. And I'm just like, I want to do my makeup. I want my face to be snatched like that, and I would just have fun. I would just play in makeup all day. And I really wanted to start my YouTube channel, but at that time I was in college. I really couldn't figure out how I would juggle that and school. And at that time I really wasn't thinking about how lucrative it could be, but I was like, I want to have fun with this, but I wouldn't dare quit school just to pursue this. Ain't no money in that. People just, you know, doing it for fun. That's really what I thought it was, okay? So I was doing makeup on campus, and then I want to say in 2015 I wanted to work at MAC. I've wanted to work at MAC forever, like since I was in high school, but I was like, I'm not a makeup artist. But as I got better, I was like, I want to work at MAC so bad. So I started working at MAC in the summer of 2015, and then I transferred from ASU to Alabama State to come home because I really wanted to go to the Air Force, and at that time I wanted to be closer to my boyfriend, which is a dumb decision. But make a long story short, I never ended up going to the Air Force. I was disqualified at MEPS because I disclosed that I have sickle cell trait, and they did not want to take any chances with me. I passed the ASVAB, I passed the physical, I passed all the tests that they put on me. I had jobs. Like, it's not like I couldn't get a job. I had sickle cell trait, and they was like, So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I ended up transferring from Alabama State University to UAB, and I was working at MAC and going to school, and girls on campus from UAB, you know, caught wind of what I was doing, and they'll be like, girl, can you do my makeup? So I just started booking people, and I started doing makeup on other people, but really it was just a means to an end. I just wanted to make some side money while I was in school. I was broke, just wanted to do that. And so many people saying, girl, you need to have a YouTube channel. I'm like, I know, I really want a YouTube channel, but I'm in school, I need a job, I'm supposed to be a reporter, I'm supposed to be working on the radio. Like, that was at that time something that I thought I was supposed to do. So I graduated in 2016, December of 2016, and I was at church, and I really wanted to do this. I didn't necessarily want to be a freelance artist. I mainly wanted to do the vlogging and the influencer thing because I went to school for communications. I have a degree in communication studies with a concentration in broadcasting. I have my bachelor's, and I had fun shooting, like my homework and certain assignments. Like, it wasn't hard for me. I enjoyed the shooting, the editing, all of that. And I was like, I really want to do this YouTube thing. And I did not pursue a career in my field of study by faith. I had the week of graduation, so many people kept asking me, what do you want to do? And it was embarrassing. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like, and people was like, okay. And then, I'm not gonna lie, it discouraged me. So I just felt like I needed to have a job in my field. But to be honest, I was miserable, working 9 to 5s that I hated. I just was like, no. So I was working in retail. I was working at MAC for maybe like 4 years as a freelancer, and I was making good money. Like, I would do their faces, they'll slide me tips. Last year, well, 2018, 2017, that's when Cash App kind of came out, and girls would be like, I'm gonna tip you, what's your Cash App? And we couldn't take tips, but I ain't gonna lie, I took them tips, okay? I ain't gonna turn down no cash. So that's what I did. And but around the time I graduated, I was like, you know, God, this is what I want to do. And I was at church one day, and my pastor was like, if you keep having visions of something, more than likely that is God telling you that's what he wants you to do. And whatever gifts that you have, it needs to benefit the kingdom of God. And at that time I was like, how in the heck does makeup supposed to benefit the kingdom? Like, it just seems so vain, so girly. People would be like, you're just wearing makeup to cover up your insecurities. No, I wore makeup because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed studying formulas and you know, skin types and all of that stuff. Like, I really loved it, and I still do. And I love the art more than anything. So it brought out my creativity and my artistic side. And so I just started filming on my phone. I had an iPhone 6, and I set up books and all this other stuff and filmed on my phone. I edited on my phone using iMovie, uploaded on my phone, and y'all, if y'all scroll down to my old videos, you see that I was definitely a newbie at this, and it was really a leap of faith. A lot of people were like, you need to get a job. That's not a job. I've had people talk about me saying she got a degree, but she's working in retail. Like, I've had people talk crap about this, but I did not care. And I just really wanted to pursue this because it was just something that I genuinely love to do. So I was still doing it and I was enjoying it, but I'm like, how is this gonna benefit God's kingdom? Like, I'm not a minister. I'm not that girl. I just enjoy doing makeup. I was sneaking on campus, like, shout out to my friend. I'm not gonna say his name. Because I don't want to get him in no type of trouble. But you know who you are if you're watching this video. He gave me the code to one of the Mac labs on campus, and I would go to work from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And when I would come home, I would film, staying up to like 11 and 12 at night, filming videos and taking pictures of makeup and all that stuff. And on Saturdays, I would get up at 7 or 8 in the morning when like nobody was on campus. And I would sneak in that lab and be in that lab. And in that lab, there were no windows. There were, it was nothing. So you lost track of time. And for me, I lost track of time because I was using Final Cut and I was just learning as I went. And of course I was skilled in editing videos, but to add my own creativity to it, I had to sit there and learn so much. And I would be there from like 8 a.m. to sometimes 8 p.m. and my mama calling me like, girl, you still there? And I'm like, yes, I haven't been anywhere all day by myself, secluded in that building, sneaking in there, hoping that nobody comes in. So I did that, and then I was able to afford a Sony a5100, so I started taking pictures on that and posting them on Instagram. And I was praying and believing for a MacBook Pro. I needed a MacBook so that way I won't have to sneak on campus. So at my church at the time, I was an intern with them, and they didn't give me a MacBook, but they let me borrow the MacBook. And I asked them, can I use this? And I did, and I edited videos until I had to return it. When I had to return it, I cried. I was at work and I got the text message, hey, we found somebody to fill the position, we need you to return the MacBook. When I tell y'all, I was like, bruh, like, God. And I was already saving up for one because I knew eventually like this would happen, but not that soon. I was like, what type of sorcery is going on here? And I was just miserable, and I was tired of being inconsistent. I was consistent on Instagram a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to be on YouTube. And so I just started saving. I started saving money. And one day, one of my good friends from church that I had known for a long time. He asked me to do his mom's makeup one day, and I did her makeup, and he was like, we need to, you know, get some coffee or meet up at Starbucks or whatever. So we was just catching up, and he was asking me what I was up to, and I told him what I was doing, and he was like, I have a MacBook at home. Like, shout out to you, Josh. I have a MacBook at home. Like, I don't use it. I don't like MacBooks anyway. Do you want to borrow it? Now, because at the time he was, I think, a teacher, and it was the summertime, so he didn't really need it. I was like, okay. So I used it all summer 2018. This is 2018 now. I used it all summer 2018, and it was around August. So that's August, September, that's back to school season. So every time my phone would ring, I'm like, oh, I hope this not him asking for his computer. And so it went past September into October. So I texted him, I was like, do you need this computer? And he was like, no, I don't need it, you can have it. I was in tears. I got a MacBook Pro for free. It wasn't brand new, but it was a MacBook Pro, and I was able to do what I needed to do on the computer. That was a clear indication that this is something that God wants me to do. And at that time, I was growing my relationship with God, and I was really just started speaking to him every single day. I got saved when I was 7, but throughout time and throughout teenage life and a little bit of college, I was going to church, but I didn't have a prayer life. I didn't devote time to him, to speak to him, and to hear what he had to say. So I started doing that, and I started sharing a lot of that on Instagram. And I was watching a Heather Lindsay live one day because I was very discouraged. Here at that time, I'm a college graduate. I'm not stupid. I have a degree. I can easily get a job in the field that I went to school for, but I'm not getting anywhere. And I wasn't really, honestly, I wasn't seeing money. I wanted to make money. I'm good at what I do. I deserve to make some coins. That's just really how I feel. And I was watching a Heather Lindsay live, and I really feel like this was a virtual angel. Like, I'm convinced that this person who asked this question was a virtual angel, because I didn't know how to ask the question, but the question in my head was, I'm a beauty influencer, and the live was speaking on purpose. I'm thinking, I'm a beauty influencer. How do I do this to benefit the kingdom? Literally, somebody that was watching the live asked the question that I was thinking of. And Heather Lindsay, she just flat out said it. Talk about God while you're doing your makeup. And I'm like, it's that simple. And I was like, I don't know, still like delaying the whole thing. I'm like, I don't know. And I started building community, and people really started to speak life over me. And 3 people, I was telling them my story. At that time, I was growing my relationship with God. I was in the process of healing from a very abusive relationship and a toxic relationship. And I was I just started my journey of celibacy. And I was sharing that with people. And 3 people in 1 week was like, you need to share your story with people. Like, people need to hear what you have to say. And I felt like I would lose people or my audience by making that shift, because they loved the beauty content, and people was booking me at the time to do their makeup. And I'm just like, okay. So one day I sat down and I made a video of my journey and my relationship with God, and I made a celibacy journey video, and that video is one of my highest viewed videos to this very day. I still get comments on that video. I still get likes on that video. I still get people DMing me to this very day. And this video was filmed 2 years ago. To this day, girl, you really inspired me to be celibate. You really inspired me to push to have a relationship with God. And I'm just like, okay, God, I got to be obedient to the call. And I did. And recently, that is when my platform started to take a shift into storytelling versus just beauty and makeup. God literally answered my question through 4 people. And that's what I decided to do. I still did the makeup, I still did the skincare, I still, you know, did certain things, but I started sharing, you know, tips on fasting. I have a video on that. I started sharing how I've learned to hear the voice of God. I started sharing what else? Self-care tips. So many different things I started sharing about what I was going through at that specific time. So fast forward to last year, I was working and I was so confused because I wanted to get a job in my field because it made sense to everybody else. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't finding anything. If I did find something, I was an intern, an apprentice, or literally making $8 an hour. Can't nobody live off of that when you got bills. Can't nobody live off of that, okay? So I was working in retail. I was working at call centers. I was a temp for, like, literally that's what I was doing. And eventually I had to obey the call, and I was delaying what God had for me and what God was telling me to do. Now, I will say, if you are in a situation like that, you are the minister where you are, though. You know God has called you to do something. He is seeing and watching your attitude, how you treat people, your stewardship. You know, even though I did not like any of those jobs, I was on time. Oh, let's be real. I did have issues with managers. I quit jobs prematurely. Or if I did quit, the way I quit was very wrong and disrespectful. And in those seasons, I thank God for his grace, because I had to learn things. And I've gotten fired from a job. I was working at a job for 2 weeks and got fired. To this day, I cannot tell y'all why. I got my first brand deal last year with kombucha, Big Easy Bucha. I love tea, and I was like, you know, but I'm a beauty influencer. And I realized at that time that I didn't want to just limit myself and put myself in a box. Although I love makeup, I love beauty, I will still continue to talk about it. I didn't want to put myself in just a box of beauty, because there's so many other aspects to my life that I can share. I love reading, I love clothes, I love getting dressed, I love a good wig. I am me, and I recently learned that my story is my niche. And I will say, if you are wanting to be an influencer or just starting out, please understand that influencers, we just don't sit and take pictures all day. It's a legit business. You have to be very strategic. You have to be willing to adapt to change, because social media changes every day. TikTok popped up out of the blue and people had to jump on it. The algorithm, it changes all the time. I will say, if you want to grow, you have to be consistent. You cannot just do this for the free gifts, for the money, because it won't happen overnight. I had someone say, I just think it'll be cool to just take pictures all day. It's more to it than that. I just recommend, if you're gonna do this, take your time. Don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Stay in your lane. Like, do what is good for you, and I promise you, you will get there. But everybody asks, how do you get the brand deals? How do you grow so fast? How? You have to be consistent. I know this, I'm pretty sure you have heard this before, but you have to be look at me here with the blinds and everything. You have to be consistent. Figure out what it is. Figure out your why. Just figure out your why. Why do you want to be an influencer? Why? If it's for attention, if it's for free products, if it's for money, I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to make money as soon as you start influencing. There's going to be a season where brands, when they do reach out to you, the compensation is the product that they want you to promote. Or you might get a link or a coupon code to see if they can get a return on a ROI, a return on your investment. That's how it's going to be. I'm just very grateful that I was able to see how it would benefit the kingdom, because like I said earlier, your niche is your story. Now I'm not gonna say do makeup one day and be changing oil on the car the other day. Like, it don't work. It doesn't really work like that. You could lose your audience, but staying within what is currently going on in your life. And I realized this is how you know you're called to do something. This is how you know that something is your gift. If you're willing to do it for free, you don't care. You are going to do it. So that's how you know you love something. That's how you know you're good at something. Also with influencing, I was watching a video last night by another favorite of mine who is a faith-based influencer, and I just relate to her content so much, and to her really, is Jalisa Vaughn. Jalisa Vaughn, oh my God, like dope, okay, dope. She's one of the dopest influencers out here. I just started following her this year and really studying her because I look up to her, and I do recommend following people within your niche just to get a feel. But I was watching her video on influencing last night, and she said, if you're gonna be an influencer, influence before you influence. This is what I mean. So remember earlier I told you guys how I was doing makeup on campus and beating my face on campus, and people were saying, girl, you da 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 da. I built that reputation based off of word of mouth and posting stuff on Instagram, because the majority of my followers went to ASU at the time. My following was pretty small, so the majority of my followers were on ASU campus, was at Tuskegee, was at AUM and UA sometimes, and even back home in Birmingham. Like, that was the majority of my following at that time, were college girls who want a good beat. And I was an influence on campus. I was an influence when I transferred from ASU to UAB. I was an influence. So you want to be able to take that and translate it onto these different platforms. I just want to encourage someone, especially if you're trying to figure out how your gifts can benefit the kingdom, spend time with God. That's what it was for me. For me, I didn't even do it intentionally. Well, of course I was intentional about spending time with him, but I wasn't going to God, well, God, let me spend time with you so you can tell me my purpose. Yes, in that time with him, he will tell you his purpose and will for your life, but go into it just wanting to get to know him. And at that time, I was desperate for God. I was desperate. I was sick of where I was. I was sick of my mentality. I had just got out of a horrible relationship, and at that time into a situationship, and I needed God. I needed God. So I just started spending time with him, get into his word, and I promise you, he will reveal his will for your life. And the word does say, whatever, don't quote me now verbatim, but it's in the word, okay? It says, God will give you the desires of his heart. Now, he will give you the desires of his heart, but he will also shape your heart and change your mind to desire what he wants for you. I just feel the need to say this because I had to deal with it. You're in a season where you know what you're called to do, but you're in obscurity, take heart, because God will call you in your place of obscurity. When David was anointed to be king, David was a shepherd, and his dad wasn't even checking for him. He introduced David to Samuel as a problem. He didn't call David by his name. As soon as Samuel saw David, God said, that is who I chose. That is the next king. Samuel anointed David and left. As soon as he got anointed, David didn't go to the palace. David kept on being a shepherd. I knew what I was called to do, but I had to go through certain things to bring me to where I am now, to teach me certain things. And I'm very grateful. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and stop rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.